Don't worry about Canada or the galaxies. Don't worry about Canada. Alhamdulillah, we got Tim Hortons, we got the Blue Jays. We will be okay after you go. Just die. Just go. We will be okay, right? So worry about yourself. One of the things that keeps us on the right path is to think about the day of judgment. What will happen? The book in the right hand, the sirat, the bridge between Jannah and Jahannam. And where are you going after that? To the right or the left? Jannah or Jahannam? For eternity, or what is going to happen? So don't put yourself in a position where you have to be on your knees on that day begging people for hasanat. We know the hadith. I'm not going to go into them. We got only 2 minutes to finish, inshallah. But please think about this question for just 1 minute when you go home before you sleep tonight. What will happen if I die today? My parents, am I good to my parents? Do I give them time? Maybe in the next khutbah I'll talk about priorities, inshallah. Do I give enough time to my kids? My wife, am I good to my wife or husband? My parents, am I good to them? Some people, I know some people, wallahi, I've seen some cases, I do counseling all the time. I know wallahi, in several cases, a brother will not talk to his brother or sister for 25 or 30 years because of disagreement over inheritance, a piece of land. Wallahi, 30 years they don't talk to each other. They take each other to court. This is crazy. People are majnoon. They lost their mind. So I want you, whatever language you speak, I want you to write something on a piece of paper and put it on your bedroom. Just put it next to your head when you sleep. Take a look at it before you turn the lights off. Because maybe this is going to be your last night. So always keep this in your mind to remind you of my question. So if you speak Arabic, put in that sign next to your bed, إِنَّ الْحَيَاةَ قَصِيرًا. If you speak English, put life is very short. If you speak French, la vie est courte. If you speak Turkish, حياة شو قصار. If you speak Urdu, زندگی बहुत مختصر है. If you speak Somali, nolosh shawaya tahai. I'm sorry if I missed any language, right? But make sure you always keep this in your mind and it will always motivate you. I'll give you a story to conclude my khutbah with about someone who was always thinking about Jannah and the Day of Judgment. He was reading all the books about the Day of Judgment. It's a true story. It happened in Saudi Arabia to a youth. He used to go to the masjid all the time. He was reading the Tadhkira al-Qurtubi, all the books that talk about the judgment and Jannah and Jahannam. So this brother, one day he broke his leg. And he was at the hospital. He had the cast. His leg was broken. And as I said, it's a true story. It happened many years back. So every time, the doctor noticed that every time someone came to visit this brother with a broken leg, so mashallah, they say sorry about what happened and whatnot. And after they leave the room, they start to laugh. They crack jokes. And the doctor was confused. If they feel sorry for him, his family and friends, they feel sorry for him. Why do they laugh after they leave the room? So he went to the patient and he said, okay, what happened? He said, subhanallah, this is my story. It's a funny story. He said, subhanallah, you know, I'm attached to this idea of Jannah and Jahannam and reading about the Day of Judgment, so my mind is always occupied with this idea. So he said, one night I read a Tadhkira al-Qurtubi. It talks about Jannah, Jahannam. I went to sleep. It was summertime. The window was open to my room. His bed was by the window. He said, I had a dream that night. And in that dream, I saw myself in a bus. And after the judgment, they said, hey, everyone, we're on the bus. We're going toward Jannah. So he was on the highway to Jannah, not 407. I call it highway robbery. You know, you take the highway, you have to pay them money. For what? Okay. So he was on the highway to Jannah, and he noticed that there was a sign that says 200 miles per hour. So they can drive fast, they're going toward Jannah. And the driver was very slow, like he was driving like 30 miles per hour. And they were telling him, faster, faster, we want to go to Jannah. But the driver was very slow. Finally, they arrived at the door of Jannah, and the driver didn't stop. What is the problem? Big problem here. And the driver moved on, and he made an announcement, okay, you are not going to Jannah now, we are going to Jahannam first. Big problem. And he saw the sign on the road. The sign said 30 kilometers per hour, and the driver, for some reason, he started to drive at 200 miles per hour. So people said the driver lost his mind. He's driving very fast. And they were getting very close, like 1,000 miles to Jahannam, 700 miles to Jahannam, 500. So it was like 50 miles to Jahannam. People were scared. What are we going to do? So someone said, okay, you know what? If you have a window next to you, jump out of the window. So he got so excited in his dream, he actually jumped out of the window of his room. And he broke his leg. And this is why his friends and family were laughing after they left his room, just like you were laughing now. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us a long and healthy life, and to bless all of us, and to help us enjoy our lives to the fullest in His service and the ta'ah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us al-firdaus al-a'la with Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and to give us his shafa'ah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all Muslims, men and women, those who are alive and those who left this life. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give Jannah to Brother Burhan, and to make him shafa'ah for his parents, and to bless his family, ameen, ameen, and to give them sabr ya Rabb al-alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa aqim as-salat.